Hello friends, it's me, Reverend, the 18th best melee player to go to 146, and also, coincidentally, your 18th favorite Pokemon boy. And I know what you want. You want to watch me play this game. You want to watch me play it because it's got all of the coolest dudes in it. It's got Ash Greninja in it. It's got Normie Greninja. It's got Tapu Lele and all of Tapu Lele's stupid brothers. It's the most fun game I've ever played. So here is some video evidence of that. Using a team posted by Vertex that I stole from the OU Bazaar thread. And I wanted to use it because it's double Quiver Dance and it's brain dead in all of the best ways. You've got two Quiver Dance sweepers, both of them have Z moves, which like sounds sus, but like you're only ever really going to need to use one of them anyway. And it's usually the one that you set up with first, so like they think they're gonna stop you from sweeping. You nuke that thing and it's not going to be there to stop you from setting up and sweeping with the other one later on. And also, it's just two chances for you to be able to click on either Fire Blast or Focus Blast and not have to worry about them missing, which is like, oh, it's that good. I feel like at some point I'm just gonna like have to call my dad at the end of a battle and just be like, well, turns out maybe I don't like girls. Maybe I'm only into Z moves. And then like Excadrill is here because I don't ever want to think about anything. I just want to like click Stealth Rock even if they have a Mega Sableye, and I just want to start clicking Quiver Dance on turn 3. Latios is here because it's Latios and you don't have a water resist, and it's got Thunder for Tapu Fini, and it's got Defog because you super don't want that with a Volcarona on your team. Tapu Lele has Terrain Extender because when you start snowballing with Pheromosa and you have 8 turns of Psychic Terrain, it's the easiest game you've ever played. And then Mega Metagross rounds it out because it's the best Mega Evolution in the game. It's a Steel type, which you don't really have otherwise because Excadrill dies so quickly. And it also has Agility, so it's your third win condition. Fuck it. How are you ever gonna lose when everything's job, everything's purpose is just to win you the game? So I had a chance to play against top showdown player Gay Poopy, and naturally I jumped at the opportunity. He told me we could play friendlies later, but I don't think he really meant it. Hey, guess what? I'm gonna lead with my suicide lead, because I'm fucking wild. And the first few turns are actually kinda sick. Not both of us setting up Stealth Rock. That's some basic shit. I've probably spent more time watching people set up Stealth Rock than I've spent, like, watching boobs. Which is, I don't know, it's fine. I'm okay with it. But, like, the cool thing is, he hits me with Hidden Power Ice. That was actually really smart. Because if he had Earthquaked me, I would have died without Stealth Rock on my side of the field, which would have actually been a really good position for me. I go for Earthquake to not take Rocky Helmet damage, so I thought the Rapid Spin after that was really obvious. But it ends up working out anyway, and I can set up Quiver Dance against Landorus with ImperatorPheromosa, because that is actually that good-ish. That's what you want to look for, because they always think you're either going to Ice Beam or U-Turn, so they never Stone Edge you. And even if they do, I don't think it kills you from full HP if they're defensive Landorus. So between that and the Beast Boost, I actually end up killing a third of this dude's team before he's finally able to force me out with the Greninja. I probably should have just let ImperatorPheromosa die there, because if he had done anything other than Water Shuriken on the Switch, I probably would have lost, because this team is actually dummy weak to Ash Greninja. Like, the only way to play around it is to keep living in a box at full HP and to not get flinched by Dark Pulse. But I end up sacking ImperatorPheromosa to his Pheromosa, and it's a U-turn, which is actually the best possible situation for me, because he goes out into Tapu Lele, and I can defo set up on that with Bert Kreischer the Machine. This dude actually gets mad that I'm Terrain Extender in the chat. I don't really know why, because he wasn't going to kill me with Specs Water Shuriken from Greninja anyway, and I end up getting a crit Ice Punch against the Pheromosa. TBH, it's the only reason I won. I'm just a lucky shitter. You know what I like to see? 52 battles with 4 Pheromosas between them. Because that just gives me 4 chances to jack my ween to my bug waifu. I'm gonna go ahead and lead off with Digger Jim again. This dude sends out his Greninja. He Hydro Pumps me on the first turn when I set up Stealth Rock, but he like Dark Pulses me this turn, which I don't think was super advisable because now I know that that's not choice specs. I know that it's like Mystic Water or something, so he can't like bait me with it later. But once again, literally the only thing I can do when there's an Ash Greninja on the field is try to scare it out with Tapu Lele, which is what I do. And I was like so sure I wasn't going to get Moonblasted. I thought he was going to Hidden Power Fire me, expecting me to go into Mega Metagross, but like I realize now how dumb that was because I could have gotten Shadow Balled on the switch, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that he has his Excadrill out against Dracossack, and it's like the super especially defensive one, which is super annoying. And what's even more annoying is the fact that Stealth Rock has way more PP than Defog. So we end up playing this game of grab ass here for about 30 turns. I actually posted this replay in the Something Awful thread, and I am like certain that not a single person watched it until the end. I end up clicking Thunderbolt at one point on accident, and then I realized that that's what I need to do. Because I can't click Psyshock, because I'm just going to die to Life Orb. So I need to keep doing that at random enough intervals that he doesn't just kill me on the turn that I don't do it, but enough to where I preserve my Defog PP enough to where I end up having more than a Stealth Rock. I don't get to do that. I think at the point where we both had like 6 left of each, I just kept clicking Defog, like, only at that point, and it worked because eventually he just gets scared enough and Iron Heads me on the turn that I do Defog them away. Which is amazing, because I can go ahead and bring out Mothra and set up against it, but what's not amazing is that he still has a Toxapex, and Toxapex has, like, the biggest disparity between how much I like looking at it, because it looks really cool, and how much I never want to see it, because it's really fucking boring. It doesn't do anything. Literally all he does for like 12 turns is just click Haze, which like, that's good. That's what he should have done, because if I got a Quiver Dance, then I would have just won, because he wouldn't have been able to stop me with anything. Especially since it isn't Choice Specs Greninja. It was definitely not going to kill me with Water Shuriken. I try my Dimmy Damnedest though. Let the record show that I do try to get my Quiver Dance, but he doesn't let me. I'm like, oh no, you're gonna recover this turn and then get crit twice in a row, which is like the only way I would have been able to leave this situation with a Quiver Dance. But it still works out really well because killing that is amazing, because that's the only thing that's going to stop ImperatorPheromosa from sweeping. I just let Bert Kreischer die. I was trying to see if I could get another setup opportunity with Volcarona later, and Bert Kreischer wasn't super useful because it's not going to be able to kill the Excadrill or the Zapdos. I bluff Choice Scarf with Tapu Lele and double switch out into ImperatorPheromosa because I knew he was going to go into Excadrill, and I know that it's specially defensive, so I'm like the least scared of that I've ever been, and set up a Quiver Dance against it. And hey, guess what? Spoiler alert, I fucking win now, because he can't do anything about this. Especially with Psychic Terrain still being up, since I got the double switch from Tapu Lele. He does try though, I'll give him that. He does try to Water Shuriken me, and see if like, Showdown is coded correctly, I guess. But it doesn't work out, and I end up killing 5 of his Pokemon in 5 turns of the 52 turn battle. So this is absolutely like one of the most fun teams I've ever used. It's just so satisfying. Like, you get to see hella green text because Quiver Dance buffs 3 of your stats at once, and you've got 2 of them. You get to use Volcarona again with, like, no fear, because never forget our fallen friend Talonflame, the bravest bird there ever was. You get to see people get really mad when they fuck up one time and then lose half their team to Quiver Dance Pheromosa. I thought it was going to be like a big meme at first, because I was like, oh, when are you ever going to set up with Pheromosa? But you get way more opportunities than you would think. Between people being really scared of Pheromosa in general, and bug fighting just being like a defensive combination that a lot of stab plus coverage combinations aren't going to be able to kill, even with its awful defenses. The biggest problem that I ran into, like, consistently was Ash Greninja. The obvious solution to that is to replace Latios with Tapu Fini, but I feel like that murders your momentum. What I would rather do is, like, replace the Latios with Scarf Tapu Bulu, and then replace Volcarona with, like, another setup sweeper that's not weak to Stealth Rock. But then you're not using double Quiver Dance, and that's some weak shit, so do whatever you want. I would recommend that you use this team as much as you can before one or several of the components of it get banned. Because Pheromosa and Mega Metagross, and like to a super slightly lesser extent, Tapu Lele, they all have like their days in OU numbered. I'm like pretty sure. Like, OU is so ridiculous right now. This gen's crazy. You can use so much dumb shit. I honestly don't even know if I'm like having fun playing OU. But if you play video games to have fun anyway, get the fuck out of my face. I only play this game to feel superior to a bunch of anonymous 15-year-olds.